Greetings, good afternoon. This is part 4, I believe, in my premonition series, just a period of time in which the Lord was using premonitions in my life. I'm not saying he was always behind everything, but he did use them, he did allow them, and this is part 4. As I was saying from the previous time, I did not come to regard these things as premonitions really all through high school, and it was early college it continued on in college, but it was a while until I said, these are premonitions and I ought to listen to them. And I wish I had listened to them a lot better. Nonetheless, one winter's night, we were going out. It had snowed. It was really a beautiful night for inner tubing. We had this big truck tire inner tube that we would go out to a place and, it had some nice hills, gentle hills, generally, but it was a lot of fun. And they said, hey, why don't we go inner tubing tonight? And I said, yeah, okay, that sounds good. But all day long, I did not feel like I wanted to go. But I couldn't figure this out. I absolutely loved going inner tubing. Well, my first run down the hill, there is this hill, it comes down, and then it kind of flattens out before it goes off. There's a drop off after that. So you come down, you kind of hit it and bounce and go like this at the hill and then bounce again. Well, apparently, when I hit this, I was a little too far front, and so I was kind of top heavy, and I tipped so that I landed more or less on my face. I do think that the inner tube hit first, but I flipped over like that, so it really put a tremendous stress, or it could have put a tremendous stress on my neck. And the right side of my face was very scratched up. A little medical wisdom. It was at this time I found the benefits of applying vitamin E oil directly to this type of thing. Within a couple weeks, it cleared off. But this was kind of a dangerous thing, and I could see why I was having this feeling inside that I didn't want to go. Something bad was going to happen. And so I began to listen to this a little bit more. Another time, having these feelings caused me to change lanes on the highway on a rainy day, feeling that there was something dangerous about being where I was. And sure enough, a little ways up the road, there was a car broken down in that lane, which I don't know that if I would have seen them in time. And so these things were definitely real, but it came to hit home very much so. I believe it was 1984, in late February of 1984. Actually, the previous holiday season, New Year's, Christmas, obviously at college we have off during those times. I was at college. I didn't go home over those holidays. And as I was there, this was one of the things that would happen that I anticipate with the premonition, at least sometimes. I just get this incredible, terrible feeling. I would just say a feeling of like blackness, darkness, bad things. It just kind of overwhelms me. It would almost be like a feeling of physical sickness, but it's not physical. And I was just kind of curled up on my bed in a fetal position, just like, oh, it's just so terrible. And I opened myself up to what this thing was, what was going on, what was the warning. And the warning that came was that someone that I was close to emotionally, but not in my immediate family, meaning father, mother, brother, sister, that type of thing, would die within 2 months. That's how it was. And of course, this is just like, oh man, I didn't really know what to do with those kind of things. And, it seemed like something that I was being told about, but what could I do about it? And then, as it was with these things, once I had figured out what it was, within a couple days, I would be back to normal, meaning I didn't carry it with me. I didn't live with the dread hanging over my head or anything. But it was 1 week shy of 2 months later. I think it was like the President's Day holiday. We had some extra time off of school. I had been away with friends at their home in Maine, and I returned. I'm pretty sure it was Sunday night. I went to the student center to get my mail, and I see my roommate and he doesn't greet me in his usual boisterous way. He looks shocked. He's just like, "Have you been up to the room yet?" I'm like, "No, I haven't been up to the room. I just got back. I was checking my mail." He said, "I think you better go up to the room. There's a note up there for you." I'm like, he's telling me this? He's got to know what's on the note. I said, "Come on, what's on the note? It can't be that bad. Just tell me what it is." And he said, "I'm afraid it is." He said, your sister-in-law, I guess Barb, she was crossing the street to work, and she was hit by a car, and she died." This floored me. All the warning in the world wouldn't have prepared me for it. But it proved to me that these things that I was sensing, these little future sightings, were absolutely true, even to the death. This time that I had had of my own death at age 23 was still about a year and a half in the future. Yes, of course, I came to find out the date. But that's going to be for another video. But I just wanted to say that I had always believed, and I did believe, that only God perfectly knows the future. He has the way he limits the devil and what the devil can know. And so I always saw God's hand in these things, even if, in retrospect, he may not have always been, behind everything directly. But I praise the Lord for his faithfulness. And so I just share this with you because none of us really, typically, none of us really know when we're going to pass on. And the Lord has warned us a lot about these dangerous times that we're in. And that's really, again, the purpose of me laying this groundwork. Why am I so serious? Why do I want to be serious in warning? Somehow the Lord has enabled me to receive this type of thing, which isn't very pleasant, not even to me, just because I receive it. So I hope you'll tune in for Premonitions Part 5. We'll get to the big one coming. May God bless you today. Please seek his glory in all things. Bye-bye.